immigrants. That is German immigrant Carl Lemley. Back in the day, we used to be called Movie City, but we are also considered the strangest city in the world. Well, we are very strange, everybody. We are a very functional city, but nobody actually lives here. Inclusive City is a city entirely committed to making movies, TV shows, commercials, music videos, reality show competitions. These posters are, of course, just a few of our most popular projects from over the years. But again, we are a very functional city. No city is complete without its very own active fire station. Ours is right here on your right-hand side. We also have our own sheriff's substation, our own medical services, our own zip code, and of course, believe it or not, we also have our own food park here. It's a really, really cool time, everybody. Once we reach the bottom of the hill, our first pit stop for today's studio tour is going to be making our way through what we call the front lot. And this is where it all happens, everybody. This is where we write all of our scripts, where we do a lot of our filming. All of our production offices, all of our sound and editing facilities are all at the bottom of this hill here. And if you're not sure what a soundstage looks like, do not worry, we're going to be seeing a lot of them. Actually, you're going to see one in just a few moments here on your left-hand side. Soundstage 12, built in 1928, the oldest soundstage on our studio lot. And on your screens, I'm going to show you just a few things that we were able to build and bring to life and film inside Soundstage 12, including Frankenstein's laboratory, Dracula's mansion, all different kinds of iconic scenes and sequences from movies like Scarface, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey, were all brought to life inside Soundstage 12, and many of the other sound stages that we're going to be passing by in just a few moments. In our front lot alone, we have 28 of these sound stages here. We have a few more scattered around our studio lot, but a majority of them are right here in our front lot. These sound stages are almost entirely soundproof, so at least 75% of all of the filming that ever happens at Universal happens here in our front lot. Now, some productions that are currently in production here, currently in development, are Season 3 for the critically acclaimed TV show Hacks, starring Emmy Award winner Gene Smart. That is currently on the streaming platform Max. They're in their 3rd season. Also being filmed here is Season 3 for Bel-Air, the dramatic retelling of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, starring these two guys right here on your screens, Mr. Jabari Banks and Ollie Schultz. They're going to give you insight on their experiences while they filmed here. Take it away.
Whoa, this is bigger. No, it's gotta be a lot. Man, we could probably fit the whole Bel-Air cast and crew in there. No, we gotta get one of these for the mansion. For sure. You're lucky for y'all. The Banks family mansion lives right here on the Universal lot. Right. Some of Bel-Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Alright, what have been your most memorable moments? Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I love the voyeur set where Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you? Well, the Bel-Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you having to sit in that cold ice bath for hours. Yeah, and that was really fun. I still can't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Transpo, yes. Yo, Transpo's the best. Yeah, they have the sweetest rides for us to play with. Actually, speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we'd better go talk to Transpo now and let these people get back to their tour. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. As long as I get to drive. Oh, not if I've got the keys. Oh, nothing wrong. Come on, man.
Now, both seasons of that TV show Bel-Air are currently streaming on our streaming service Peacock. Again, their 3rd season is currently being filmed in all of these sound stages that we're going to be passing by here. Once we're done with filming, we go into these offices that you're about to see on your left-hand side. And this is where we do all of our editing, our sound mixing. So the magic that you see in the final product of any Universal production, lots of times it happens right over here. We've been able to explore and film and produce all different kinds of productions here at Universal Studios, a few of which you can see on your screens right now. We explore every genre here, and we mostly make live-action projects, but occasionally we'll collaborate with one specific production company to make animated movies as well. And their logo is actually coming up in just a few moments on your right-hand side. Do not worry, if you don't see it yet, it's because we haven't passed by it. It is very hard to miss. Their logo is right above a pair of minions, so use that as your cue. This logo is for Illumination Entertainment. We were able to collaborate with Illumination Entertainment to bring you movies like Despicable Me, Minions, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and their newest movie, which just came out earlier last week, Migration, starring Kumail Nanjiani, Elizabeth Banks, Danny DeVito, Aquafina, and Keegan-Michael Key. But moving right past those minions, we're going to be encountering our first celebrity sighting of the night. Everybody say, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. If you brought a drink with you on today's studio tour, good for you. New Year's Eve was really tough for me, so if you have a drink with you, good for you. We're going to get it ready. We're actually going to be raising a toast to my good friend. He's raising a toast to us with the dirtiest martini you've ever seen in your life. It's Ted the Bear on January 11th. He's getting his very own prequel series on our streaming service Peacock. And for any production that's going up here, we start at the beginning. We do all of our brainstorming, we write all of our scripts. Obviously, we need to pick which actors are going to be a part of our projects. All of those things need to happen before the cameras start rolling during what we call pre-production inside all of these bungalows here on your left-hand side. Back in the day, these were used as dressing rooms for all of our A-list actors, including Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Rock Hudson. But nowadays, these bungalows are occupied by writers, producers, directors, production companies that like to collaborate with us here. One of those production companies includes Mark Platt Productions. They've worked on movies like Legally Blonde, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, La La Land, and they are currently in the process of filming part 1 for their movie adaptation of the hit Broadway musical Wicked. That movie adaptation for Wicked will be starring Cynthia Erivo as the Wicked Witch of the West, also starring Ariana Grande as Glinda the Good Witch, co-starring Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live, and Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh. She just won her first Academy Award last year for her incredible performance in the Best Picture winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once. We are in the middle of a 5-year expansion plan here at Universal, so we're going to show you a few of our newer sound stages coming up in just a few moments here on your left-hand side. Now, on these parking spaces coming up on your left-hand side, you're going to see some signs that say Lopez versus Lopez. Season 2 for that TV show starring George Lopez and his daughter Maya Lopez is being filmed right here at Soundstage 25 on your left-hand side. A little further up is Soundstage 26. That is the one that we used for Hairspray Live back in 2016. So we use our sound stages almost every single day. We're able to bring elaborate locations to life from the ground up in these sound stages here. But as we round this corner, we're actually going to be leaving our From Up Behind. We're going to be in the back lot for the rest of our tour. So we're going to show you around. We're going to show you all of the incredible sets that we have sprawled throughout our studio lot. If we aren't filming in real-life locations, if we aren't filming in these sound stages here, we can come to our back lot and use any of the sets that we're going to be able to show you as we move forward. For example, if we ever need to film in some kind of big city that we need more control over in terms of the look and the appearance, well, on your right-hand side, we're going to be entering our metropolitan sets, where we can bring any of those locations to life. On certain occasions, our characters here need a place of residence, so they usually stay in these apartment complexes that you are about to see in just a few moments on your right-hand side, standing on what we like to call our brownstone street. You can see our brownstone street used in movies like Airport, Gone Girl, even in the climax of Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, starring Macaulay Culkin, Catherine O'Hara, and Academy Award winner Joe Pesci. If you're looking at the sidewalks here, you're also going to see these little squares lining up the ends of these sidewalks. So those are there so we can implement extra street lamps. So anytime that it gets dark outside, if we want to do a nighttime sequence, we can add in extra street lamps. Maybe if we're exploring a certain time period, we can put era-appropriate street lamps into any of those squares that you see there. So it's a very, very small detail, but it allows us to transform our locations here, allow us to travel through time. And speaking of time travel, as we round this corner, we're going to be entering one of the most popular parts of our metropolitan sets. Here on your left-hand side, it's our City Hall, standing in our courthouse square. And if you're not familiar with City Hall, you might be familiar with it because of that clock tower. That is the one that Doc Brown used to help Marty McFly go back to the future. So welcome to Hill Valley, everybody. That first Back to the Future, starring Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox, turned 38 years old in 2023. Now that first movie was also filmed in all of our sound stages here, but a lot of it was also filmed right here in our courthouse square. And we had a little bit of a shoestring budget for that first movie. So when we were making it, the original ending for Back to the Future was actually supposed to take place in a power plant, but a location like that would have been way too expensive for the budget. So instead, with the help of our production designer, our set decorators, the people responsible for creating and decorating the world in our productions, they transformed this entire area here into Hill Valley of 1985, 1955, and of course, the distant future of 2015 for Back to the Future Part 2.
It was actually the back lot, the courthouse square, that inspired the entire climax of Back to the Future.
I had scenes up at the clock tower on that ledge. It was a ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside, looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. And I just thought, there's no way of the world, no way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
Now, make sure to look around, everybody. We have a lot of personality here in our buildings, in our metropolitan sets. You'll notice that we have buildings of every kind that accommodate for any regular businesses that you would see in real life. So we have buildings that accommodate for banks, hotels, restaurants, apartments, bookshops, stores, offices, movie theaters, anything that you might imagine that we might need. We all got it right here. And further down on the end of the street over here on your left-hand side, you're going to see this massive metropolitan backdrop. That wall that you see there is a huge, elaborate illustration of a bunch of buildings lining up the end of that street. So that is one of two metropolitan backdrops that we have here in our metropolitan sets. But aside from that backdrop, all of these buildings, you'll notice, are of course real, but they also have interiors to them. So they are called practical sets. We're able to film both inside and outside, basically every building that you see here. Specifically on this street that we're on right now, this is one of our most frequently used streets in our metropolitan sets. It's what we like to call our New York Street.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now right here on your left-hand side, these glowing lights that you see here are a part of what we like to call our Lyric Theater. And you can actually see our Lyric Theater used in Spider-Man 2, starring Tobey Maguire. If you're a fan of Meryl Streep, we also did some filming right here for Death Becomes Her, her wonderful movie starring Bruce Willis and Goldie Hawn. We also transformed this entire street into 1940s New York for Captain America: The First Avenger, starring Chris Evans. If you're a fan of Lady Gaga, her music video for The Edge of Glory was also filmed all around here. And if you're looking closely at any of the architectural designs to these buildings, specifically these brick walls that you see here, you'll slowly realize that these bricks that you see aren't actually made out of brick at all. In fact, a lot of the buildings in our metropolitan sets are made almost entirely out of plywood, plastic, and plaster. And that just makes it a lot easier for all of our set decorators to change the appearance of our buildings and accommodate them for whatever production is going on here at Universal, regardless of the time period or the location that we might be exploring. Now, another detail that I want you to pay attention to as we move forward are all of the windows on our metropolitan sets. If you're able to, you might be able to see that some of these windows get progressively smaller the taller that you go. This is a little movie magic trick that you can actually see in the buildings at Disneyland as well. And this movie magic trick is called forced perspective. So by changing the size of those windows, by minimizing the size of those windows, it allows those windows to look a lot further away from the ground and also makes our buildings look just a little taller. So that kind of forced perspective is just one example of all different kinds of magic tricks and practical effects that we're able to utilize even in our sets here. Now I'm going to show you a really quick clip from the movie Bruce Almighty, starring Jim Carrey. In this movie, obviously they utilize some of our metropolitan sets here. And when I show you this clip, you as a viewer, I want you to pay attention to all of the small details that we've added into our metropolitan sets. When Jim Carrey's character exits the building here, I want you to pay attention to what's going on the street. Take a look.
Grace the dog!
I'm in the shadow.
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
Oh, you're done now. Great.
Beautiful. In hindsight, that looks like a very, very short, very simple scene, but it takes an entire village of people to even bring a small scene like that and bring it to life. So right here, you can already see that we've added in signs, we've added in little trees on our sidewalks here. You can see that we've added in vehicles on the sides of the streets as well. Even some background actors and extras. All of those small details are things that we've added in to really give this area a sense of reality to it. Now, all of those small details are things that you as a viewer would not even think twice about, but they really add in to the reality of being able to bring this environment to life. And lots of times when it comes to utilizing sets like these, we do need to collaborate with every department here. Our costume designers, our lighting departments, our prop departments, all of them are essential to bringing any kind of productions to life here. For the rest of our tour, as I mentioned before, we're going to be in our backlots. So we're going to show you sets like these moving forward. Now, a lot of the sequences that you're about to see on your screens were brought to life either on location or in our sound stages here. Sometimes we're able to use visual effects and special effects to bring some more kind of fictitious locations to life, obviously. But lots of times, these sets are really built so that they can actually be seen by all of our actors. They are built specifically for any production that might be going on here. So a lot of the sets that we're going to be able to show you moving forward are fixed sets. They are here every single day, every single year, for any production, any director to be able to use for any of their productions that are going on here at Universal. So as we move forward, take one last look at our concrete jungle. We're going to be leaving our metropolitan sets behind, going somewhere a little more exotic now, a little further away from society. As we make our way up this hill, we're actually going to be going on a little adventure into Skull Island, the world of King Kong, directed by Academy Award-winning filmmaker Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I wanted to become a filmmaker.
Really quickly, as we make our way up this hill, I do want to check in on all the other cars. I didn't get a chance to wave hello to all the other cars, so as we round this corner, I'm going to be able to see just a few of you out there in the darkness. I know it's a little dark outside, but here I am, just waving hello to everybody here. Hello. Hello. Happy New Year, everybody. We're going to be heading inside in just a few moments, so make sure to hold on to all of your belongings. The road might get a little bumpy moving forward, so I don't want you to drop anything by mistake.
I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into the future. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times.
As we prepare to head inside, just